I think a big moment for me was when my cousin got into like Street Fighter, the animation, anime Street Fighter, which I thought was incredible, and I think maybe was the best like kind of interpretation or translation from game. Like for me, I think they did it like justice, like beautiful justice. Let's not talk about the film.
What, you didn't like Jean-Claude Van Damme as an American?
Bro, they disappointed. You know what the worst part for me was flipping M. Bison. Like, why is he talking like he's f***ing vampire? Like, you know,
it was a Tuesday.
It was like, bro, believe I still watched it though.
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah.
Coming to you from Crunchyroll HQ, this is The Anime Effect. Each week, we bring you the latest news and views from the shows you love. It's pop culture with an anime lens. Today, Grammy-nominated songwriter, producer, and recording artist Labrinth is joining us on The Anime Effect.
Hell yeah, brother.
He has produced for The Weeknd, Rihanna, and Beyonce, and scored the hit HBO show Euphoria.
But first, we got some news to cover, baby.
Always.
Like the debut of Demon Slayer stage play on Crunchyroll, Billie Eilish ripping her love for anime in Japan, and a surprise appearance from some iconic Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters at the Olympic qualifiers.
That is a wild sentence.
Yes, it is.
I am your host, Nick Friedman.
It's me, LeAlec Murray.
And I'm back again. I
Haley's
know we
back.
said I wasn't going to be back this week, but I'm back again. Hi.
We weren't planning for Haley.
That was the ultimate misdirect. No, Leah is still on vacation and they're having a great time. And we were like, Haley, you want to just come back again? So Haley's back. But the three of us today are going to see once again just how powerful the effect of anime really is.
That's
2 for
2
2,
weeks
y'all.
in a row.
It's
Let's
2 for
go.
2, y'all.
Good.
That was great.
That was really good. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the part of the show where we like talk about our day, talk about you getting in some sort of car accident or parking mishap in the morning.
Ensue, and it's usually because of me, which is weird.
But we're going to talk about David Dastmalchian today because
Friend of the show,
special guest on the Anime Effect. If you haven't listened to the episode, go back, listen to it.
Yep.
He is joining the live action One Piece cast.
Shut up.
As of this morning.
Shut up.
Yeah.
This is true breaking for Lee.
Yeah, this is absolute breaking news. So season 1 of the One Piece live action kind of left off leading into the next arc of the series, which is effectively the Alabasta arc.
Right.
Okay.
Which deals with the introduction of Baroque works.
Yep.
And Baroque works is sort of this like kind of like secret agent society that's run by a shadowy villain who I won't spoil because I feel like that will play into season 2. They all have names like Mr. 2, Mr. 5, and I believe the women are like named after holidays.
Like holidays,
or just days. So like Miss Wednesday, Miss All Sunday. So David Dastmalchian is joining the cast as Mr. 3.
That is perfect.
I know. You just have to like sit in it for a second. Mr. 3.
That is perfect.
I believe Mr. 3 is the one that they teased in a video on social recently where there was like a cake and it had the 3 candle.
Yeah.
And now with him as in the cast, I'm like, that makes sense.
Makes so much sense.
This guy has like a slick back comb over with just like a 3 in his hair that sticks up. Are you looking up?
It's so goofy.
So I can't think of anything more perfect. The fact that this comes after talking to David specifically about a live action anime, talking about him wanting to play Sebastian, wanting to do a live action Vampire Hunter D, like
we're ever so closer. Yeah. One step closer.
I am so happy for him.
This is gonna be great.
So you better come back on the show, David.
But we're gonna have to have him back on to talk about his One Piece experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a wild character design, by the way. I'm looking it up. Wild character design.
So a lot of the characters in One Piece are just wildly designed just in general. But when you're in that whole like Alabasta Baroque's work, like they're all like just off the meter, unhinged in the way that they're designed. Like it's insane.
I know that like people say they fall in love with One Piece immediately, and I did to some extent, but Alabasta is the arc that like I was like, oh, this may be the greatest piece of storytelling ever written.
It's very good. I will probably echo that sentiment as well. Is like every anime needs a hook to be like, hey, this is where I'm going to be drawn in just forever. And Alabasta really, I think what it is that it sets the stakes really high. Like you realize how high the stakes for One Piece are going to be and potentially will be, because everything after this just
geopolitical,
one
military,
after another. It gets
government.
Insane.
But yeah, congrats to David.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Congrats, dude.
Yeah, we hope to be able to talk about it soon.
Small update: I am in Water 7 now for One Piece.
Catching up to me.
Your boy's trucking. I am a trucking. Not Truck-kun, but I am a trucking.
That was good.
That was great. Can we get that for the button? Can Nick's Truck-kun sound effect be the noise button?
You just need it to be like in the middle of the table.
I know. I mean, it would be royalty free if we used my voice. Anyway,
there you go. All right. Up next is the news, including a brand new way to experience Demon Slayer, celebrities showing their love for anime, and a very special announcement. So stick around. It is time for the news.
Oh, that was good. It is time for the news.
It's very EA Sports.
That's what I was going for.
That's true.
EA Sports. It's in the game. Young Nicholas, what have you brought for us?
Extra,
there
guys.
we go.
Heck yeah.
Extra this week.
Heck yeah.
So the Lisa Live is Smile Always Lander concert film is officially coming to theaters in North America in August. Crunchyroll has announced that they're bringing it along with Sony Pictures Entertainment to the big screen.
Oh, man.
Like, I know Crunchyroll has been doing a lot of the powered by concerts, which have been really cool to see, like, how we can connect the world of anime to, like, live music, because there really is such a connection there with OPs and EDs.
Right.
But this is, like, just continuing to validate that feeling of the connection between them, and the idea that in 2024, we get to go to the movies and watch a concert film from Japan from Lisa.
It's so good.
Well, and more importantly, think about it. This has kind of been the last, year and a half of like concert films as well too, because we have Beyonce and then Taylor Swift and then now Lisa, which is kind of an awesome, like, just triumvirate to just show up in concert theaters. So it's validating on two fronts, right? Especially because for a lot of us, Lisa has kind of been the soundtrack to our lives.
Yeah.
Quote unquote, if you're an anime fan. So seeing her on the big screen with the tour is, I think it's going to be great.
It's going to be my first concert film that I see in theaters.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So I'm very excited. I love Lisa. I got the chance to work with her a little bit at Anime Awards. I've worked with her on some content virtually in the past and stuff. So she's great to work with, but it's just one of those things where I love her music. Obviously, as I've mentioned in past episodes, Sword Art was kind of my bring back into anime. So I love her music and I'm very excited to see it in theaters. I will be the one that's like standing up screaming like through the whole concert. Yeah. And whether or not it's like a packed theater or just myself, like I'm gonna be going.
No, I think I think the theaters are gonna be packed.
I
think
they're
gonna be packed.
Yeah. It's really gonna be so good.
Yeah. Like, man, they should have, you know what? Kendrick, I know you did us a solid on Amazon, but we may need you to put the Pop Out in theaters.
Oh, I would go to that.
I would go. I would watch the Pop Out in a heartbeat. Like,
I was going to say that the first concert film I saw in theaters, I think, was the Hannah Montana concert movie.
Mine was that weird Ninja Turtle stage play.
That's awesome.
Can you get weirder than that, Haley?
I love that stage play, dude. Like it makes zero sense, but it has shaped my life.
Okay, so it's interesting that you bring up stage plays, which I was going to use Demon Slayer as a segue here, but you literally mentioned stage plays. So not only do we have Lisa coming to theaters, but on Crunchyroll, which I think is now streaming, it's up there now.
Yeah, it is.
Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, The Stage, is officially streaming on Crunchyroll.
I'm so excited to watch this.
Like,
crazy.
Again,
I love stage plays.
2024, we've got anime, OP artists, concert films on the big screen.
Yep.
We've got stage plays, which like a few years ago were like, this is something you just read about on Crunchyroll News.
Right.
That you see the costumes, you see the key art,
you see the pictures from it and stuff like that. Yeah.
The live action stage adaptation of Demon Slayer is streaming on Crunchyroll.
Crazy.
So it's 2.5 hours long. It's subtitled. The performances were recorded in 2020 and 2021, but it's just we're not even halfway through the news this week, y'all.
No.
I'm so excited to see stage plays become more common to Western fans as far as like what they know, because when we announced this, there was like a mixture of the people who know about stage plays and they were so excited to see it coming to streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the mixture of like, why is Demon Slayer getting a live action? And you're like, no. Like,
you have to watch it. Like, it's such a different experience than what you're expecting if you think that what you're seeing is a live action like film.
Yeah.
Right.
It's I mean, Japan does theater like no one else.
It's
so
ways.
Different.
And yeah, and I mean, speaking of theater, 2 other stage plays kind of got, or live actions got news this week. So there's going to be a Fruits Basket, the final stage play in Japan in October.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been adapting kind of the manga the way that the anime had, the new anime had. And then on the live action front, there's an Oshinoko live action series coming to Amazon Prime Video in Japan later this year.
Wow.
So anime just keeps making moves. We talked about the One Piece live action, talking about Demon Slayer, talking about Fruits Basket.
And then we talked about the Attack on Titan ones a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Attack on Titan, the musical.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I'm really curious for the Oshinoko live action to know how they do the babies.
Oh.
Are they going to have CG babies or are they going to have real babies?
No, CG babies.
There shouldn't be CG babies. I mean, you could shift the timeline to be like toddler.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're like on that like baby to toddler range. But even then, like, you're not, I mean, I don't know.
They have to talk.
They have to talk.
And it's surprising that they're talking babies.
I guess they don't have to talk too much because they kind of like internal monologue a lot. But it's just one of those things like I'm so used to the babies or the toddlers or whatever being so expressive.
Yeah.
That it's like, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
What are they?
Robot baby. This is where I mentioned Boss Baby again for the second week in a row.
Please.
No.
In other news, you guys know Billie Eilish?
It sounds familiar.
Little music artist.
This week, Billie Eilish was welcomed onto the Newscaster Joho 7 Days program on Japanese television. Airs on TBS. And there were some pictures, video from this event, from this program going around because she received 2 very special gifts.
Okay.
One was a custom drawing that has her in it from the mangaka, the creator of Attack on Titan, Hajime Isayama.
Crazy.
It was so cool.
Crazy.
And if that wasn't enough, she also received, I believe, a signed Sailor Moon art book from Naoko Takeuchi, the creator of Sailor Moon.
Yeah. I mean, 2 super heavy hitter titles. Like, can you imagine just going on to a Japanese TV show and they're like, here, we have these.
We have gifts for you.
I would pass. I would pass away.
I mean, I passed away when I got the 2 Crunchyroll Shikishi from Man with a Mission. I was like, it's not even to me. It's like 2 Crunchyroll generally. And
you're
I was like,
that's me.
It's like sitting at my desk still because I'm just like, so I can't even imagine being in the case where they're like, we drew you into the Shikishi with the characters. I would be like,
crazy.
And if you're listening, it's not sitting at Haley's desk.
It is not. It is not.
What?
I mean, like, I don't want anyone to know, so they don't try and take it from you. Like they don't try and like hang it up somewhere.
Oh, you're saying anybody from the office? Okay.
No, not anybody.
I was like, what do you think? Somebody who's listening to this is just gonna come to my desk.
This is an all points bulletin. In other, I guess anime hitting the mainstream news, the effect on anime news this week.
I see what you did.
If you've been watching the Olympic qualifiers for track and field, American sprinter Noah Lyles kind of went viral for busting out a Blue Eyes White Dragon card as his like intro. He like tucked it under here, like pulled it out, and then showed it to the camera, and then put it back in to run. Which like that sounds like a chafing nightmare
for sure.
But I respect it on a deep level.
Yeah.
And so everyone was like, "Oh, that's really cool! Like he loves Yu-Gi-Oh! Like this is a really great moment for like you know people like us who want to see that represented on the world stage."
Right.
Then it got even wilder.
Yeah.
So you might be like, Blue Eyes White Dragon on national television. That's crazy. That's where it stops, right?
Yeah.
No. On day 2, he was gifted a silver briefcase that inside had all 5 pieces of Exodia.
Oh, I didn't know this part.
And what's even wilder is he was gifted the briefcase by Snoop Dogg.
By Snoop Dogg.
Does Snoop Dogg just travel with a silver briefcase of Exodia?
With the 5 pieces of Exodia?
Why is like so? has Snoop Dogg just turned into like the hip hop version of Pegasus at this point?
Man,
because he's literally doing everything on the planet right now. And then he gives Noah Exodia, all 5 pieces, in a spy briefcase.
I know. I was like,
there's no way this man is not on Pegasus time. And he's always wearing sunglasses now. Does he have a Millennium Eye? Like, we're going way down the Yu-Gi-Oh rabbit hole here now. Like, whoa, we need to check. Whoa, somebody check on Snoop Dogg, please.
If we check online today and Pot of Greed shows up, then it's over.
We're done. Over. It's done.
So I was just thinking of like I hate putting this out into the world, a Pulp Fiction remake where it's Snoop Dogg and the briefcase has the 5 pieces of Exodia in it. And they make it very clear that that's what's in the briefcase. And it totally ruins the mystique of the point of that part of the film.
Right.
But also, anyway. So on day 2, Noah showed the center portion, the face of Exodia, which like, where do you go from here, man? Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon?
I mean, the natural progression now is Dark Magician, or you get some gods involved. Like he's just gonna, his next one, he's
Obelisk.
Gonna pull out an Obelisk, the Tormentor, or like a Slifer, the Sky Dragon, and be like, hey,
go ahead, name the third one.
Hey,
what's the other one?
Ra,
the Golden Dragon. Ra. Yeah.
I just thought it was cool because when he pulled out Blue Eyes White Dragon the first day, it wasn't just like, oh look, I have a card. He like held it up to his forehead and was like doing the full
Seto Kaiba.
He was full Kaiba. He was full.
So
you
good.
Never go full Kaiba. He went full Kaiba. That's what happened.
Karibo.
Oh man,
just Blue Eyes. Exodia.
Karibo. The Buster Blade area.
Anyway, I mean, I hope we get to see Noah in the Olympics here in a couple months.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'd love to see anime continue to be repped on the world stage, and hopefully Sarah Pavan is doing well in her qualifiers.
Yeah, Noah, if you're listening, we come and talk about Yu-Gi-Oh with us. We'll take you.
Yeah. All right, coming up, the one and only Labrinth will join us to talk about his music and, of course, all of his favorite anime. There are some really solid picks in here, y'all.
Yeah, some good picks in here.
All of that coming up next.
All right, today, at this moment, we are so happy to welcome Grammy-nominated songwriter, producer, and recording artist, Labrinth. Hey, how you doing, my boy?
What's going on?
What's
sweet,
up, man?
How are you?
It's all good over here. I think we're caffeinated. We're ready to go.
That is true.
Love it.
So, like we do with every guest that comes on the show, we have to ask, what is your gateway anime?
My gateway to anime was, do you guys know GYVA?
Yes.
GYVA. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, for real. Okay. Yeah, that was the beginning for me. Like, I remember my older brothers, because I'm the youngest of, I'm like a third youngest of 9 kids. And I've got 5 brothers. Yeah, and so they used to be killing GYVA, and I've just see all these arms popping off and all this blood gushing and crazy stuff. And I was too young, and I was like, my family's like a Christian family, so we weren't allowed to watch that shit. And my brothers were like, get out of the room, you can't watch this. So that was it. I wanted to watch it so badly, and I used to put in like videotapes from my brother, like when my brother would leave to go and do something,
That I think that is the like most respectable gateway anime we have heard on this show.
Yeah. It's man, I can't imagine, dude. I'm the youngest of 6, and he said the youngest of 9.
Okay.
Like, I couldn't even imagine, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's 3. That's
wild.
3 too many. I am like the threshold for me was 6 apparently.
Okay, but
no, bro. I'm a parent. I got kids, and it's crazy. I'm like, I don't know how my mom did that.
That's really terrifying. I'm about to have a kid in October, so.
Don't be terrified. It's one of the best experiences ever, honestly.
Oh man, I can't wait. I'm so excited. Okay, so you mentioned GYVA, which is wild.
Wild.
Where does it go from there for you? Like, what takes you deeper into your anime journey?
Of course, my uncle used to bring 80s like films and cartoons that he just recorded on like a videotape, and it was from like the 80s, 90s stuff. I think a big moment for me was when my cousin got into like Street Fighter, the animation, anime Street Fighter, which I thought was incredible, and I think maybe was the best, like, kind of interpretation or translation from game. Like, for me, I think they did it like justice, like beautiful justice. Let's not talk about the film.
What, you didn't like Jean-Claude Van Damme as an American?
Bro, they disappointed. You know what the worst part for me was flipping M. Bison. Like, why is he talking like he's fucking vampire? Like, you know?
It was a Tuesday.
It was like, bro, believe I still watched it though.
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah.
But I used to, that was incredible, and that kind of brought me deeper in. And then I think, I would say the last maybe 4 years, I got really insanely into it, because me and my creative director, he kind of, I don't know, he turned into my shrink almost, because when you do creative direction for an artist, you kind of have to ask them, what are you into, and go into all layers of what they're about, what they're really fascinated by. And I was like, I've always loved anime. And 2 years before that, I watched Ghost in a Shell over and over again. It was literally, when I would go to bed, I was watching it. When I was writing music, I would have it on just like as inspiration. I then kind of went right back into anime and just started watching just everything I could get my hands on, like just classic stuff like at the end of Evangelion. I started rinsing Akira, of course, and I just watched that over and over again. Pluto as well. And then it just started going insane.
So I know that obviously you're not new to creating different kinds of music and scores and things like that. You've worked on the Euphoria soundtrack, and most recently for Netflix's film The Kitchen.
Such a great movie.
So what's the process like for you when you're creating music with the goal of enhancing another piece of art?
I've always made music with that mentality. So I used to write music to, like, I would rip films. I'm sorry, film industry. It was back in the day. I used to rip films. I used to rip films and write to them, like, and I would write to like different movies, just because it was inspiring. And I always would make up stories while I was writing music, like in my head. So it would be like, oh, okay, synth bass comes in. That's when he walks in a room with a gun, and then all of a sudden these horns appear, and it's like, I don't know, a spirit from ages ago decides to take his soul away from it. And I'm literally like writing all this stuff in my head while finding sounds, if you get what I mean. So that's kind of like, it was almost like,
that's so cool.
When I worked on movies, I got the ability to actually do it physically when like somebody was like, okay, I need you to emote this visual. And I'm like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I got a chance to watch the Kitchen over the weekend, and that movie deals with a lot of like really heavy emotional beats as far as it deals with like found family and death and like being in the struggle continuously and trying to get out of it. Like, what was your mindset when you were writing a lot of that music, especially for Isaac, because you're on this journey with Isaac the entire way, and he's experiencing so many different things at one time. What was your mentality like, just writing for him in general?
First of all, I loved the concept of like where I grew up being in a dystopian sci-fi world, because no one's ever really written anything with that concept or that perspective. And where I grew up was very much like that. I had the same kind of relationship with my father. So a lot of it was kind of personal to me. And I was like, okay. And then you're adding you know, a creative element that I really enjoy, which is like sci-fi and like just that energy of dystopia. So I was just kind of like, okay, from that perspective was exciting. And then to bring some of the sonic sounds of where I grew up to this fresh world was exciting to me. Yeah, and so it kind of felt more like it was a personal creative venture, you know? And of course, me and Daniel, when Daniel brought me the movie, he didn't have to say much. He was just like, you know where we came from, but in the future. And I was like, oh yeah, I was like, okay, cool. I'm with you.
Assignment understood.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, there was garage influence, like, because I don't know if any of you have ever been to London, but I recently came back from LA, and it's a melting pot of so many different cultures, and it's not. I know a lot of cities have that, but in London, maybe I've seen it. The only place I've seen it that to have a similar kind of energy was in Toronto. When I went there, I felt like that was close. But when I went back to London, I was like, literally a Chinese kid, Indian kid, white kid, black kid, like Eritrean, all could grow up together. Family knows each other, parents know each other, and nobody bats an eyelid about racial background. It would just be like, this is just the way it is. And I've always loved that. And so you could get into a taxi, somebody would be playing Ethiopian music, and then you get into another taxi, someone's playing UK garage, and it's just like, eventually it becomes part of the way you create, and it starts to show up in some of the music. And that's how I got inspired, even with Euphoria as well, where it's like, that's how I've been influenced in terms of mixing genres or messing with styles, is that it's always been around me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Am I going too far? Am I getting too deep, guys?
Have to process it.
So we have to ask, because the explosion of Western artists coming now into the anime scene and doing OPs and EDs, is there an anime or a type of anime that you would like to score now that you're like, you've done TV, you've done movies? So if there's an anime out there for you, which one is it?
Chainsaw Man, for me is like one of the best things I've seen in a long time. I just loved all the topics it touched on. I loved the way they animated everything, and I just thought it was, it's grotesque, but I don't know how they make something that's supposed to be, that people would get cancelled for, meaningful. Like I was like, how did you make that meaningful? And I thought that was kind of genius. And then I loved what was done with the music, and I was like, yo, if I could mess around in that world, I would love to do it.
Yeah, the cool thing about Chainsaw Man is that they bounced like different, what was it, the EDs that they different EDs?
Different genres, different artists.
That's right. They did. They blurred a lot of genres, which I thought was incredible. But yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was done well.
Yeah, I mean, you touch on a really interesting point about Chainsaw Man, which I totally agree. I think it's like, we're in this weird place with hyperviolence, I feel like, in Western art, where like, to me, something like The Boys is totally different from Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Chainsaw Man, and I think to your point, like the reason why Chainsaw Man works is because there's a beauty to it, and there's a self-awareness to it that doesn't exist in maybe like a Mortal Kombat.
Right.
Which is more
that's
like satire. And,
you just want to see blood and guts, and it's like, okay, cool, I'm down with all the grit.
Yeah.
But it just,
it's like a symphony of it.
Yeah.
You know what? I think Tarantino missed a shot, bro. Like,
dude, I mean, all you have to do is watch the intro to Chainsaw Man and see how many like Tarantino and Coen Brothers and like movies are riffed on in that OP to know like where that influence is. But like, it's been wild. I mean, seeing like folks like Che Lingo on Jujutsu Kaisen. We saw Franz Ferdinand in Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Oh yeah, for real.
Most recently Youngblood in Kaiju number 8. Like
it's one of my songs of the season, man.
Like, I feel like I have to see the Chainsaw Man thing happen now. I feel like I have to see that happen.
Like, let's do it.
Whoever's listening, go ahead and book Labrinth for Chainsaw Man.
And Demon Slayer.
You'll clear a schedule, all that. I'm not your agent.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down. Demon Slayer as well. Yo, if you guys want me, I'm down. I got my keyboard ready.
So
Look,
cool.
You can see them all behind me.
I do love that. That's awesome.
So great. So great.
Have you been are you watching Demon Slayer this season?
I haven't watched this season yet. I'm about to get into it. But it was sick. So far the journey's been pretty wild. I think there are moments where it got I don't know, there's some shows that can get repetitive, but you don't mind it. And I felt like I didn't mind it in that, you know?
You're in for a treat this season. Like stuff starts getting active this season. Like, well, more active, but I mean, because it's already been active.
You can feel the build up in this season.
Yeah.
Like I feel like this is the calm before the storm.
Yeah. So you've got lots of things that you've done already, but what are some upcoming projects that you're most excited to talk about recently?
I've been saying I want to make an opera, and I've been working on it. Like an electronic sci-fi opera.
Ooh.
Say no more.
I'm in.
And then I want to do. I really want to do my own anime show. So I'm like looking into doing that. I've always wanted to do it and find a way of telling a story, and then write the music to it. So those have been like things that have been like my super focus. Yeah. But then, of course, you know, music singles, that's the same old That's what all of us artists are doing, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I mean, a little birdie told us you may have a spot at Lollapalooza this year, too.
Oh, forgot about that. Yeah. I know. I'm so mad guy. I'm going to do Lollapalooza.
Like I got too much.
Do you know what? It's just... But for me, I'm like... Yeah, you asked me what I'm like, what I'm on, what I'm really on. That's what I'm really on. If you really want to know what I'm trying to grab out of the sky, that's the one.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, speaking of like shows like Lollapalooza, so one of the performances that you've done that I really love is with Billie Eilish at Coachella a couple of years back.
Yeah,
that's. I mean, it really is an incredible rendition of that song. Billie Eilish is also a very outspoken anime fan, so I have to know, like...
Do you know what's so weird? I had no idea she was an anime fan. She said nothing about it when we were around each other. I got to ask her about it next time I see her. I didn't know she was.
He's like, now I got to hit her up.
Yep, you got to be like, what anime are you into? And I know this really great podcast that you would be great to be on.
Yeah, straight up. I didn't know she was anime fan. I can definitely see it in a lot of things that she does, but yeah, that's wild. That made me a bigger fan.
Yeah, absolutely. Same here.
We just talked about earlier in the show. We talked about she was just in Japan and she got a custom drawing from the creator of Attack on Titan and a signed art book from the creator of Sailor Moon. Like
crazy.
That's awesome.
We got to find a way to get him some Guyver love.
Honestly, yeah. Like,
that's a vibe.
But I mean, what's it like performing at a show like Coachella with a crowd like that?
Do you know, I don't think about the crowd and not that it's a diss. I hadn't performed in a long time, so I didn't know what kind of crowd I was going to come out to, because all the music that kind of blew up in lockdown. Mm-hmm. So I saw Steve Lacy on stage on Instagram or something, and there were like he was switching on the crowd for just knowing the chorus to one of his songs, and they bought tickets to his tour, and they only knew the chorus. So he was kind of like switching at this TikTok age, and I was like, so many of my records have kind of kicked off from TikTok.
Yeah,
and so I was like, yo, I'm gonna go to Coachella, and these guys are gonna just be singing like 5
just
seconds
my chorus,
of my song. And I'm gonna be like, there's gonna be hardly any crowd there, and I didn't know what to expect. And then when I went out, I was like, oh they know this music.
Yeah.
And I kind of, because I had that kind of thought in my head, I went on stage like I knew I made a show I wanted to see, like, or a show I wanted to perform. And I literally, anime was the biggest influence on my show. So like when people see my show, all the lighting, everything, like my stage, like I have a stage that looks like a flipping spaceship.
Nice. I love it.
And it's really wild. Like the way the show's set up, it's visually inspired by anime all the way. So I kind of was like, oh, maybe people are going to hate the shit out of this. But when we went on, a lot of people kind of were just like, what the was that? Like, like this is mad. Yeah. And and it really came across that way. And then of course to add Billie Eilish and Zendaya to the show was just like, kind of took it to a whole other level, you know?
Yeah.
So that was crazy. Yeah.
So I have to ask, because we asked 24K Golden when he was on as well too, and you brought up, you know, your music being popular off of TikTok. What's that like for you as an artist? Because like when I was working in music almost 10 years ago, like it was still the same old record label model, right? Like you were, but you know, social media had just started, so you had to go out and find people, or you're cruising MySpace or whatever. Like, what's it like having people find your music so fast, and then that music becoming a part of like cultural moments on TikTok, or when you see people out, you know, in the crowd when you're doing shows?
I look at like all these transitions, like all the transitions that have ever happened in terms of music or entertainment, like the song Video Killed the Radio, you know, like we were there.
Yeah.
And then the like electric guitar probably killed jazz because somebody decided to blare their amp to 11 and was like, this sounds crazy. Shall we do this? You know, and so every era cries about the changes that go on. And with TikTok, I don't have any beef with it. I think that's the language of the time. That's the way the generation communicates. And I think there's going to be innovators, there's going to be idiots, and there's going to be innovators, you know, like, and I think on TikTok, there's annoying people, but there's also people that are innovating and thinking of ways to communicate or entertain with the device that they have. It has changed the music industry dramatically, but I think people that used to release music or have been releasing music before TikTok, of course we're going to cry about it because it's dramatically changed the industry, you know? Like, and for oldies, for people that have been in the industry before TikTok, you know, like it doesn't feel nice because we have to change the way we communicate with the audience. And before you had one radio station that played 5 songs and those 5 songs made you a celebrity instantly because that's all anybody would listen to. And now Spotify and all these different services have come and said, you listen to what the you want to. And that's scary because it's spread out how many artists we listen to. And we can now choose who the guy is, you know?
Yeah.
It's like learning a different language almost, right?
Honestly.
Yeah, literally. But I think it's sick because you don't have to sleep with an A&R to become popular. It's like you just got to do the work.
I was gonna say that it's similar to how anime has gotten with you can watch what you want,
right?
But I can't really segue off of that.
Right. No, that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
If you're ever touring in Dallas, you should come through. We can do an episode.
Let's do this, baby.
Yeah,
man. Just slide through, man.
Hell yeah.
Great.
I appreciate you guys.
Oh no, man. It was so great having you on. I know you are a very busy man. We have to let you go. But did you have anything last that you wanted to say to the people out there?
I hope you're enjoying the show. I am. I'm in. You've just claimed another fan, my friends.
Hey, there we go. Thank you, sir.
Well, we've been looking forward to having you on the show literally all season. Like the moment we found out that you were interested and that you were a huge fan, we were like, this is going to be the show this season.
Book it right now.
I'll say something. I was excited to talk to you at Anime Awards before you
I know
you couldn't join us anymore. So I was so sad when you couldn't join. So when they heard and I was able to come on the show this week, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, thank you.
Oh, sweet, man. No, I'm happy to be here, man. I was sad about that, but it was just nothing was aligning. So I just was like, I can't even do it. But I hope it was great. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah.
We weren't there. But
we weren't there.
Well, I'm saying the interview was good too. I like talking
about it.
The
interview was
great.
But sweet, guys. Great to meet you. And hopefully we talk soon, man.
Yeah, of course, man. You're welcome back anytime, man.
Yeah.
It was great. Thank you
so much.
All right, take care, man. Bye-bye.
That was such a great interview. Labrinth, you were welcome back anytime.
Anytime.
Friend of the show.
Absolutely.
Officially.
Yes.
So good.
But before we close out, you know what time it is?
Rex.
Haley's right.
I don't have an outfit for this one, right?
I get to actually legitimately be here for Rex.
I know, it's exciting. How do you not have a Rex outfit?
Okay, recommendation.
Rex outfit.
No, who wants to start?
I'll go.
Yeah, Haley. You know what?
Haley. Well, gosh darn it, Haley.
So mine this weekend, I was trying to like totally dissociate from everything, which meant that I read a lot of webtoons.
Okay.
And so
As one does.
One of the ones that I just like binged throughout this weekend is called Father, I Don't Want This Marriage. It is kind of like a shoujo fantasy title, but in true webtoon fashion, it's a regression title. So not reincarnation, but it's very much she died in one life, goes back into, her toddler self, I think.
Okay.
And then comes back with the knowledge of everything that she lived in the previous life.
That's everybody's dream.
Except for the part where you have to die first, I guess. But
I have changed
everything.
my former opinion on what I said about the dying part.
Yeah, but You find out throughout the story that obviously things were not as they seem, and you learn a lot about it. It's just it's a really nice title. There's a lot of cool like little twists and turns that keep you looking throughout. So that's on Tappy Tune if anyone wants to read it.
Let's see. I guess I'll go next. So I spent all season watching One Piece and Haikyu.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Still not caught up on either of them. But I just kind of went through my spring season wrap-up, catch-up phase. So I've got all these episodes banked. I'm going to finish some series. So Delicious in Dungeon, I finished. Again,
so good.
I cannot say enough good things about the English dub of that show.
Absolutely
Every
fantastic.
member of that cast absolutely crushed it.
Yep.
The ending is great. Can't wait for season 2 now that it's been announced.
Same.
Konosuba, season 3. I say it all the time. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
But anime. Yeah,
it absolutely is.
The chaos.
But I do love these characters more
They're
than I
so
love
good.
to hate the characters of Sunny. Because I don't love to hate the Konosuba characters. Because at the end of the day, they have good intentions ultimately. And then I finished Urusei Yatsura, the remake of Rumiko Takahashi's manga. Phenomenal. Just a great comedy show. Some really great romance moments. Animation was incredible by David Production. So yeah, if you're looking for stuff to binge now that the spring season's wrapping up, there's 3 for you.
Yeah. It's time.
Okay.
Come on, uncover the book for all of you viewers at home.
This is what you guys have done to me, okay? For the audio listeners, I'm holding a copy of I was reincarnated as the 7th prince so I can take my time perfecting my magical ability. What have you done? What is happening?
Wasn't me.
I had to not only finish the series all on Saturday, but then say, hey, I'm going to go to Kino and start buying the manga. What is this? Where are we? This is my recommendation for the week. Thank you for everyone that has wrote about it or argued with us about it, whether it's an isekai or not.
You have shown LeAlec how powerful the effect of anime really is.
You really have, if we're going to be completely honest here. I have to say, and there were so many shows, like my top 2 shows right now are Kaiju, Windbreaker. Like
for the season?
For the season. Just masterfully done, both of them. But 7th Prince, oh my God. This is big scale magic. Like, and this kid, listen. 10 years old.
Does he wear shorts the entire time?
Wears shorts. Here's the thing. Wears shorts the entire time, but then has costume changes in between.
Like me.
Like Nick. When you have a character that is like the epitome of like the OP power fantasy, but you make them likable, it's, I think, one of the most powerful things in anime.
Yeah. Well, if you like the OP character that's likable by everybody, you have to watch By the Grace of the Gods then too.
Okay. Yeah. See, I think somebody else brought that up as well to you.
Oh, someone had recommended it.
Yeah, somebody recommended it.
I just assumed it was Haley.
Yeah, I did too.
I mean, I was in that episode, so I
oh, yeah.
The call is coming from inside the house.
Well,
I'm gonna check it out now.
Yep.
I gotta do Windbreaker and Go Loser Ranger too.
Oh, Go Loser Ranger is so good.
Oh,
it's so good.
There were too many shows this season.
There was a lot of good shows this season.
Actually, I shouldn't say that because one of our first questions was like, "Why is there too much anime?" And I was like, "There's always gonna be too much. Just pick what you want." And I'm like, "I want to watch it all."
Before we close out our rec section, how about we listen to the listeners?
Yeah.
The viewers, the people of the show.
The people that honestly come to us with like probably the best recs of everybody.
You know what? And that's where my rec this week came from. So.
I feel like Haley's only saying that because of a specific show in this rec. So this week we got a rec from Weirdo Anime Lover, which same, on Apple Podcasts, who said, I started watching a while ago and I have some anime recs for you. I really enjoyed Fairy Tail.
Heck yeah.
Haikyu.
Hell yeah, brother.
And press the isekai button, Black Summoner.
So which of these do you think is the one that I'm excited
just
about?
Fairy Tale, dude. It's just Fairy Tail.
Which one is built for Haley?
If you sit in a room quiet for long enough, Haley will start talking about Fairy Tail.
That's not true.
So I would probably join you in the Fairy Tail conversation. But also, when are we just gonna make this the Kuroko's pod and we just go for broke?
I think we should talk about Eden Zero.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
All right, Lee's back on my side. Lee's back on my side.
I'm a man of the people. All right. As you know, before we wrap the episode, we have to get to, what is it? The mailbag. Go get your outfit.
I'm going to get it. All right, we got 2 questions this week. The first one comes from Aparaj via our question form. Which is the most beautiful anime?
Oh.
Easy.
Easy?
Yeah, easy.
Easy? That's easy?
Easy.
Okay.
Violet Evergarden.
Oh.
I thought Haley was going to be like, Fairy Tail. Easy. Fairy Tail.
Fairy Tail, again.
Love Fairy Tail for multiple reasons. Beautiful is not quite on the top of the list, but Violet Evergarden, absolutely.
That's Kyoto Animation, right?
Yeah, you wish you watched it on like a movie screen, basically, just because it's so good.
I mean, speaking of movies, Your Name.
Oh, that is a good one. That is a good one. Honestly, man, I may piggyback with you on that one. Like your name was very masterfully done, especially when you talk about a time where like anime movies are kind of redefining the theater space.
Sure.
I think Your Name came in at a perfect time and was like, hey, this is what modern anime movies can and should be.
Yeah.
And it was at a time when we weren't really getting regular Studio Ghibli content.
Yeah.
And so having Shinkai come out, you know, he had movies before this, but having sort of this like massive mainstream break with Your Name. I also feel like it worked a really solid balance between, I think, a lot of 2D animation and the like CG particle effects that you see from like a Ufotable.
Yeah. I was actually just saying we should definitely shout them out because the Demon Slayer, like anything they touch, like fight scene wise, is just like, it's like watching like fire dancers, right? Like you're just mesmerized.
Yeah. The thing for Ufotable that I always recommend is if you watch the extra features on the Heaven's Feel movies, they'll show like the behind the scenes and it shows like each step of their animation process. And because they do the 3D, 2D overlay, it's just like seeing all of those things where it's like, okay, it's definitely hand-drawn 2D in some spots, but then you have, to your point, the particle effects and stuff like that. And it's just like so cool to see that piece of it added on top.
Cool. Well, thanks for the question. That was a good one. Next one comes from, I think we've got a question from them before, but Anime Slays 567 on YouTube.
Welcome back.
If you were in My Hero Academia, which quirk would you like to have? So quirks, for those of you who are not in the My Hero fandom or haven't heard quirk used this way, it's basically a superpower. So in this world, people are born with quirks, and those are their superpowers.
Yep. I like Creati's power, like the fact of like maybe being like a technomancer. Like I think that's a very cool like power set to have.
Sure.
Like just making or creating like whatever you see fit. Very much in the Green Lantern sense of things.
I was like, you just want to be Forge from the X-Men.
I got nothing else to do on my weekends. I'll be a Green Lantern on the weekends.
Tail.
Really?
Big meaty tail.
Really? Are you gonna learn karate too?
No.
Like
Big tail.
Just tail.
Big tail.
No, I mean the tail would be cool. It seems pretty functional. What is it? Sero has the like Spider-Man tape powers.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I think that's actually kind of an awesome underrated power.
Extremely.
It's just because
like,
you forget that Sero is there sometimes.
Yeah,
he
just
won't show up on screen.
I got tape. And you're like, we actually needed
like,
tape. How did you know?
Yeah, like that's Daft Punk Spider-Man. Like, I also think Jiro's power is really cool. She can like listen in and like, blast sounds and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think mine would be Edgeshot's power, which is where he can like turn into Thread basically, but it's not the same as Best Jeanist. He can turn into like Thread essentially, but that gives you almost like invisibility because you can get down to like nothing.
That is it for our questions and recs from fans for this week. As a reminder, if you want to send in a comment, a question, send us your recs, you can do so via our fancy question form at got.cr. That's got.cr/anime effect questions. Or you can leave a comment on YouTube. You can leave a comment on Crunchyroll. I saw people dropping 5-star emojis on the Crunchyroll platform.
Oh, really?
They took Haley's advice.
I was looking for them on YouTube and I didn't see any on YouTube. So I was like, come on, YouTube.
They're all on platforms.
There's 2 on the Crunchyroll app, and then which is funny because you can actually rate the show out of 5. So yeah, leave us a 5-star review on Crunchyroll, 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. You guys know I love talking about Apple Podcasts.
He does.
Yes, he does.
If you want to see us rise up the charts and be able to do more cool stuff and bring you the latest news, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and drop a comment in with a recommendation, with a suggestion, with a guest you'd like to see on the show.
A question, y'all.
Tell us how you're feeling that day.
Yeah.
Just whatever.
Honestly, the how you're feeling that day would be great.
Yeah.
I want to hear more about how people are doing.
You know what? Anybody that comments from this week going forward, tell us how your day's going. Just give us a little bit and then say, hey, here's my question. Here's my rec. But also, here's how I'm feeling.
I like that. Before we get out of here, it's been a pretty eventful episode, honestly. We had Labrinth.
Yeah.
We had a ton of amazing news. You can read more on Crunchyroll News. But before we get out of here, we have to remind you guys, Anime Expo is coming.
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
So close.
So first, I will say we will have an episode next week.
We will.
It may be a little shorter, maybe a little more news-focused, because we're going to be on our way to the sunny sands of Los Angeles, California.
What?
And we're going to be boxing on the beach.
I'm
no.
I'm not
Just
boxing.
kidding.
No.
We're going to be running around the LA Convention Center for like 5 full days.
Yeah.
Overly caffeinated.
But we have a lot of good stuff planned. We'll be debuting a very special little Easter egg for the Anime Effect fans.
I'm so ready for everybody to see this.
At the Crunchyroll Presents Katakawa anime panel that Lee and I are hosting, there is also the Bocchi the Rock panel with the director of the series. I'm still like freaking out because I love that show so much.
It's become one of my new favorite shows, dude. I'm so excited to do this with you.
On stage, I'm going to be silent with a single tear in my eye, fully dissociated.
So what Nick is saying is that I may end up running that whole panel by myself because he just freaks out.
We have also got a whole mess of interviews that we're going to be doing at Anime Expo with some really special guests.
Some really good ones.
That will be rolling out throughout the summer. So you'll see some familiar faces like me, Lee, and Haley. Also, we've got Leah. We've got some new folks who are going to be doing some interviews. Like
tagging in some people.
The lineup is crazy, y'all. Yeah. And we also have a little something special at the Crunchyroll booth.
Yep, all weekend.
Lee and I will be there doing some cool stuff every day of the show.
So, I'm really excited to see the booth.
Yeah, I am too. It looks cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think we mentioned this on the show, but I will be doing the Blurreds panel.
Yes.
On the Crunchyroll stage on Thursday.
It's gonna be so cool.
Yeah. Our boy Jamal Williams is coming back.
Ooh.
Yes.
And then we do have a third guest joining us as well too. So it's going to be absolutely awesome. I'm so excited to just for the whole pod crew to just converge on LA and
I was gonna say it's
normal work and then pod work at the same time.
It's the Anime Effect Anime Expo.
Basically. Yeah. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us for another episode of the Anime Effect, brought to you by Crunchyroll and the folks over at Sony Music Entertainment. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Crunchyroll Presents The Anime Effect is hosted by me, Nick Friedman, LeAlec Murray, and this week, Haley Wisenan. We are executive produced by Jonathan Hirsch, Sharon Morris, Alex Lawless, and also me.
So is you.
Our lead producer is Kyla Carnero, and our associate producer is Zoe Colkin. Patrick Emile edited and mixed this episode's audio. Kamani Oletu filmed, and Aaron Nidick edited the video. Our head of production is Sammy Allison. Special thanks to Tamika Balance-Kolasny.
We'll be back next week with more anime, and more specifically, more from Anime Expo.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
There's nothing you can do about it. We already bought our tickets, our bags are packed, the laundry's done. Like, we're
my laundry's not done.
And my bags are not packed.
Later
Bye.
days.